What has the experience been like here in this facility?
Horrible.
Really?
Yes, it's terrible. Jail is awful. They don't, they have no, well, they have no compassion. They don't give us the things we need here.
Will prison to your understanding?
I certainly hope so, yes.
Have you done time in prison?
No.
So you're hoping that it will be a better existence?
Yes,
for you,
definitely.
You're a young woman, 36 years old. You could be there a long time.
Right. Right.
But your belief is that you deserve the death penalty.
Definitely. Well, I believe God. That's what God says. Unless God is wrong, which I doubt, so.
And would God has told you that, or you just believe that?
I believe
eye
that.
for an eye?
Right. Right. I expected to die for this.
What insights can you give us to you? What would you have anyone who may hear this interview know about you?
There's really nothing. People are going to believe what they want to believe. Judge the way they want to judge, just like I do, so.
Yeah.
So be it.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
I'm going to keep mine very short on this. This should scare the hell out of you, that if she were not talking about getting a death penalty because God wants it, she's lucid and rational. You could be having lunch with this woman over Chinese food and her talking to you about anything with the responses she has because they seem rational and lucid. I think to that point, Chase, everyone on here said, there's no easy, hey, look, a psychopath. It takes a lot of work by other people. And if they know what those symptoms are, they can certainly pretend to be that. She does show a little bit of lip retraction at definitely. And then she says, I believe in God. Chase, you say it all the time. Lip retraction or withdrawal is needing reinforcement. If you don't think this illustrates that point better than anything we've ever seen, she goes, definitely, and then says, God says it. There's no better reinforcement than quoting God after you say it to get some kind of higher ground. Chase, what do you got?
There's not a whole lot here in this clip that speaks directly to the case, but I'm going to offer a pro tip here. When somebody describes a negative experience, listen very closely to the words that they use to describe it. The adjectives they use, like in this clip, horrible, are meaningful to them in a negative way. Where if I wanted to describe something as negative later on in this interview, I'm better off using this person's words to describe something I want them to see as negative. Secondly, listen to why the experience was negative. We hear two distinct words here that are important to her: compassion and giving people what they need. Now, later in any conversation, you're going to know critical elements of what words and things people are looking for and the words they associate directly to negative experiences. You can do the exact same thing with positive, but pay attention to this. This works in every conversation. You don't have to be an interrogator. You just need to be a manager, leader, boss, parent, salesperson, fill in the blank. You can do this in pretty much every conversation. Scott, what do you got?
All right. After the first question, she shows a one-sided smile. And I think that's for show because she's never been in prison before, but she wants to make it look like at that point she has been in prison. And she starts this pontificating about how bad things are and how would she know comparatively if she's never been in prison before. And I think he busts her right there and it bothers her. I think the whole thing, I'm starting to think most of this is a show at this point. But overall, her blink rate stays low. Her breathing hasn't changed much at all. But her cadence speeds up and slows down. And that's when we can focus on what the problem may be at that point, where she's fighting how to answer things. The attitude is all there, but what she wants to put in that attitude as it comes out, that's where the problem is. So it's like you're trying to say something and mix the attitude and that together at the same time. She already knows what the attitude's going to be. She just wants to know what's going to be riding on top of it when it comes out. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, really interesting. Look, she seems to put across this idea, this story that she has no concern for other people's judgments about what she did. Now, somebody psychopathic will often have a massive concern about the judgments that are put on them because, by certain definitions of psychopath, there should be narcissism there, and narcissists are very concerned about what other people think. She's making a very clear statement and going, I don't really care what other people think. I don't care what you think. I did what I did because I was following a code, my code, God's code, criminal code. She's trying to put down, I think, this idea, the prison has no compassion. They've got no compassion. So compassion is important to understand that they have no compassion. You would need compassion. She's saying they have no compassion. I follow a code. I think she's trying to put across the idea that she might be the criminal level of an antisocial personality disorder, which means, look, I do follow a code. I'm not just an out and out, crazy. I follow a code and therefore I can comply. I'm probably, a good person to have around in prison because I won't snitch on people. I know that's wrong. That's why I go around killing people, because they're snitches and we don't. I follow a code. That's a big story at the moment from my point of view. So I wonder, why is she trying to sell us that story? I've got a couple of good ideas as to why you would want to sell that story. Let's see how the story continues. Does she keep on selling that idea?
What has the experience been like here in this facility?
Horrible.
Really?
Yes, it's terrible. Jail is awful. They don't, they have no, they have no compassion. They don't give us the things we need here.
Will prison to your understanding?
I certainly hope so, yes.
Have you done time in prison?
No.
So you're hoping that it will be a better existence?
Yes,
for you,
definitely.
You're a young woman, 36 years old. You could be there a long time.
Right. Right.
But your belief is that you deserve the death penalty.
Definitely. Well, I believe God. That's what God says. Unless God is wrong, which I doubt, so.
And would God has told you that, or you just believe that?
I believe
eye
that.
for an eye.
Right. Right. I expected to die for this.
What insights can you give us to you? What would you have anyone who may hear this interview know about you?
There's really nothing. People are going to believe what they want to believe. Judge the way they want to judge, just like I do, so.
Yeah.
So be it.
If you like this video, get the full body language breakdown and analysis on our main channel by clicking this video right here.